Hastings. Oh, Hastings, my dear, dear Hastings.
Poirot, old chap.
Oh, mon ami, mon ami.
You may know him best as Captain Hastings, the loyal and dashing sidekick to Agatha Christie's beloved detective Hercule Poirot. Yet his acting career spanned over half a century, and the actor has appeared in plenty of films and TV shows over these years. So, who is the man behind the character? Tonight we're delving into the life and career of a man who's brought charm and elegance to our screens for decades, the one and only Hugh Fraser. Indeed, it was Captain Hastings who first appeared in Poirot's storyline and introduced us to the former Belgian police officer, soon to become Britain's new best detective, in the pages of The Mysterious Affair at Styles and the eponymous episode.
But
Half a dozen stamps, please.
very good, sir. Hastings?
Good Lord. Monsieur Poirot.
It is indeed mon ami Hastings.
Captain Arthur Hastings was Poirot's lifelong friend. They met at the front of the First World War. Wartime friendship grew into something bigger. Hastings became Poirot's closest confidant and a loyal and diligent sidekick in their investigative endeavors. Fraser's portrayal of the affable and sometimes bumbling Hastings provided the perfect counterbalance to David Suchet's meticulous Poirot.
All right, boys, the game's up. I want you to come quietly now.
Officer, I want to explain. My friend and I are here at the request of Monsieur Lavington.
The chemistry between the two actors was palpable and remains one of the series' greatest strengths. According to Christie, Hastings was about 30 years old when we first met him there at Styles. Poirot was supposed to be much older, a retired police detective in his 60s. However, in reality, Fraser and Suchet were almost the same age during filming. In fact, Hugh Fraser is actually 1 year older than Suchet. Did you know that fact? In the TV series, they did an amazing job of making Hastings look much younger than his Belgian friend.
And please, do not fraternize with that creature. I am still training him.
It's only a parrot.
I was talking to the parrot.
Curiously, Fraser would describe Hastings himself as this well-meaning but not the sharpest tool in the box sort of character, English gent. He added that the screenwriters deliberately went beyond Christie's book, giving him more depth and a rather richer character than the character in the books. Perhaps you heard that Christie herself wasn't a particular fan of Poirot's sidekick, and that's why she got rid of Hastings by sending him to Argentina for the good. So yeah, producers developed him into a somewhat more rounded supporting character. And Fraser agreed with that interpretation, saying that he also wanted his Hastings to be something quite original.
What a suspicious soul you are.
All those years with Poirot, I expect.
David Suchet recalled that Hugh didn't want Hastings to be a comedy character, a straight man if you like, because he thought, as I did, that his character was there to represent the audience in the story. That meant we had to find a way of making sure that Hastings was never allowed to look like a complete fool.
Well, it's not the carburetor, anyway.
This is not what I long to hear, Hastings.
Eh?
I want to hear what it was, not what it was not. Better still, I want to hear the motor.
I have elaborated on the character of Arthur Hastings in my video about what happened to Hastings, Miss Lemon and Inspector Japp. Like, why did they gradually disappear from the show despite the love of the watching public? I invite you to have a look at it after you finish watching this video.
Good morning, Miss Lemon.
I thought this was meant to be a holiday, Captain Hastings. I'll talk to you later.
By the way, would you agree that while David Suchet is the ultimate Hercule Poirot in so many accounts, when it comes to Hastings, Hugh Fraser is the one and only definitive master of the role. And so, what was his road to that part?
Do you like sports, Frederick?
Oh, I don't believe so, madam. I thought we liked stripes this year.
What kind of sycophant are you?
What kind of sycophant would you like me to be?
Hugh Fraser was born on the 23rd of October in 1945 in London, yet spent his childhood years in Midlands, England. From an early age, he was drawn to the world of acting, a passion that would guide his life. The actor recalled that he failed academically at school, since he'd always had been very active in school plays. He then decided to audition for drama school and went to Webber Douglas in South Kensington when he was 18. At first, for a couple of seasons he played tiny parts, like, say, that of a waiter. Sometime then, in 1972, Fraser even was one of the musicians who came up with the original musical theme for The Rainbow, the ITV children's television series which ran for 20 years.
Tried to shift it, couldn't even lift it. We was getting nowhere, and so we had a cup of tea. Right, said Fred, give a shout for Charlie. Charlie! Hello!
At the same time, he did stage management, and television and films came gradually after that.
If we sell arms to the insurgents, we shall be in trouble at Geneva. If we sell arms to the government forces, we shall annoy Mussolini and Hitler.
What do you suggest?
So, back in 1978, he was cast to portray Anthony Eden, a former British Prime Minister and leader of the Conservative Party in the mid-1950s. Fraser played young Eden in the critically acclaimed short series Edward and Mrs. Simpson, which elaborates on the dramatic events preceding the famous abdication of King Edward VIII due to his wish to marry the woman he loved despite her inappropriate social status for the British royalty, the notorious Wallis Simpson.
You once said that he told you you could always speak to him about anything. Perhaps this is the time to remind him of your privilege.
Kings like this one do not care to be reminded of other people's privileges.
That was quite a small part for Fraser, really, yet he still managed to establish himself as an actor with a perfect aristocratic presence, or say, that special breed of the people from the past who are now mostly gone with the wind. Or some sort of an ideal English gentleman. Would you agree that his looks perfectly suit this image? No wonder film directors and TV producers weren't blind to and often cast Fraser for this type of roles. This way, in 1982, he played in Peter Greenaway's comedy drama The Draftsman Contract. Or, my favorite, Disney's 101 Dalmatians in 1996, where he played this Frederick working for Cruella in her haute couture fashion house.
I'm beginning to see spots. What would it cost us to start again on next year's line?
Millions?
Can we afford it?
Well, yes.
Thank you, darling. Now go away. I have to talk to Anita.
Or just look at this early 19th century portrait of the Duke of Wellington by Thomas Lawrence, and now at Hugh. It's a perfect match made in heaven, I wanted to say, but yeah, you got the idea. Who could play this legendary military and political figure better than Fraser did? I was surprised that he wasn't the first choice of the producers of this British TV series Sharp from the 90s. It tells the story of the fictional British soldier in the Napoleonic Wars, and Fraser replaced another actor in the role of Wellington as a supporting character.
I'll line the roads with provosts to keep them in order. Provosts, Major Sharp. For any infraction, to hang them on the spot. And if any man defies my provosts, Or worse still, should turn a gun on one?
By the way, the entire cast here is really impressive. I mean, Sean Bean in the titular role. There is also Brian Cox, the star of The Succession, among all the other things. Or even Julian Fellows, the creator of Downton Abbey and The Gilded Age. Together with the same Bean and Harrison Ford, Fraser played a small part in the 1992 American thriller movie Patriot Games.
Boats. Bottom of the cliff. Several ropes. Kevin!
And just like many British actors of his time, Hugh is also an accomplished theatre actor. He appeared in plays like Cloud9, Traps and The Genius at the Royal Court Theatre or Philomena at the Lyric Theatre. As Shakespeare specialist, he engaged in different productions of the Royal Shakespeare Company.
Hello, I'm Hugh Fraser, and I've chosen this poem, Old Foxy, by Sue Hardy Dawson, because it falls on my birthday. The urban fox waits for Monday night's feast of Sunday's roast chicken bones, jellied and greased. Lunch in the lamplight, fish heads with leeks, crisp rinds of bacon and pizza midweek.
And yet, apart from the looks, it is undoubtedly the charming and soothing voice of Hugh Fraser that brought him so close to the hearts of viewers and listeners on both sides of the Atlantic. No wonder Fraser was frequently invited to narrate video games and, of course, books, the ones by Agatha Christie in particular, and he also took part in audio dramas and podcasts.
Is there ever any particular spot where one can put one's finger and say, it all began that day, at such a time and such a place, with such an incident?
Narrating a book or reading a part is one thing, yet how about writing your own book? Hugh Fraser got us covered. Being involved in Agatha Christie's realm for so many years didn't go unnoticed, and in 2015, Fraser published his first crime fiction thriller. Fraser confessed that he indeed was quite an admirer of Christie's books when he was a teenager and devoured almost all of them one after another. However, at the same time, his mysteries bear very little relation to the sophisticated world of Agatha Christie, and his own lead character is as far away from Poirot or Marple as one can possibly be. His Rena Walker is a young contract killer born in the post-war London slums. In the first book, she's just 15 years old, and there are at least 3 more books about her that Hugh released in recent years. What's more, Hugh Fraser has also done several gigs in theatre in director's chair. For example, he was behind David Mamet's adaptation of Chekhov's 1899 classic Uncle Vanya. And not so long ago, in 2022, he directed the first in an almost a century London production of Kate O'Brien's Distinguished Villa. So yeah, luckily even today Hugh Fraser continues to inspire and entertain, whether through his enduring performances or his compelling writing. And certainly, he remains a beloved figure in the hearts of his fans and a shining example of talent and dedication.
You have won well, mon ami. With the straight back and the grey of the hair. With the wound that is still fresh.
No man could have wished for better.
Away from the spotlight, Fraser is a devoted family man. He fell in love with a fellow actor Belinda Lang in the late 80s when they were filming together in The Bratz, the show about a 1930s theatrical family. Since then, the couple have raised a daughter and still live together in a happy marriage. Well, it's hard to disagree that, for the public, Hugh Fraser would be remembered for his unparalleled fit into the character of Captain Arthur Hastings. Out of a 50-year-long acting career, he spent roughly 24 years, from 1989 to 2013, almost a quarter of a century, in Hastings' shoes. In fact, he appeared in 43 out of 70 episodes, more than anyone other than David Suchet. However, Hastings wasn't there in the last seasons and was brought back only for the last episodes, but still.
He was my dearest friend, you know. He was always there, keeping an eye on me, ticking me off. Like a father, really. I'm not quite sure how I'd cope without him.
So, will it be fair to say that Hugh Fraser was a sort of a victim of cruel actor's fate, being typecast because of this single role? Well, technically, yes, perhaps. Yet I'd rather say no, of course not. Quite the opposite. What a blessing and true artistic happiness it must have been to have something under your belt that had really touched the hearts of so many people of different generations and countries across the globe. Isn't this achievement a generous gift of life in its own merit?
This is Mr. Graves.
How do you do? How do you do? I was just saying to Monsieur Poirot how much I envy you all, the exciting business you're in.
Well, you know. Please.
Thank you for tuning in to this new episode about the great actors we all cherish and love. What would be some other actor you would like to see a video about? Let me know in the comments, and meanwhile I hope you have a lovely day. Take care and hope to see you in my other videos. Bye!